it's really good.
No, it's not. It's mediocre at best.
That 51 plus is trying.
Ugh.
I had to cut these guys' Diablo rant.
Barely cut it.
Yeah, we kind of bit
You
short.
want it. You want the rant? YouTube,
Today,
Twitter.
welcome back to Critical Failures.
That's right. We failed.
Tabletop Troops production.
Just like those
That shit.
We're sponsored by Tabletop Troops. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. Those guys, they're great guys. And then
Awesome.
there's Lauren, who's a girl, guy.
Guy,
Never noticed.
neutral gender term.
Today we're doing battle simulation. Kyle versus Jordan.
Didn't even know it was
I
over.
really hope the people that watch this live enjoyed the last episode because it was gone forever.
Why is it gone
The
forever?
last episode is gone.
It's now known as the lost episode.
Did you kill it?
I lost it.
Dude,
I didn't download it in time.
what's that mean?
Or I think I actually did go to download it, but
Just deleted it,
but
emptied your recycling.
the place I was trying to put it, like I was trying to put it on my hard drive, and it was full. So I think it's full. So
Was that the Kyle hosted one? No.
No, that's the one Ethan had minus 10,000 points.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why
That's
he.
what-
That's
yeah.
why he's.
We did a completely random episode, and randomly
Based on
it
good
went
points.
completely missing.
Great
I don't know
points.
what- Right, it was a great episode. We'll never.
One of our best, but
You'll
the
never
point
see
in bringing it up is nobody wants to go see it.
Probably in your top 5.
Easy.
So that's just a lesson for you guys out there to check us out live on Twitch. At Tabletop Troops. Anyways, yeah, today battle simulations via an AI. So we're going to be using an artificial intelligence, using machine learning to get the exact what would happen in a fight between two named people with one named weapon. Because that's sort of what we're doing. Basically, these guys are both going to say sort of a name and like sort of who this person is, and it can be anything, and it's as big or as crazy as you want it to be. Like you can be like, I'm fucking Paige Baxter. Sorry again. Man.
4 sentences for too much.
We're gonna
That was
get
berated for telling him.
What was that we're doing?
You're going to pimp out some stuff, he's going to plug it in the computer.
He just mentioned something.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna say name, basically who you are. I was gonna say like you can go crazy with it, like be like I'm the king of this kingdom, and I'm a necromancer.
No, we're getting mediocre at best. That's what I'm gonna do.
Very, very well, and you have just as good a chance at winning, even if Kyle does take the crazy powerful option, because there's no sense
I'm
of power.
told he may use 4 sentences.
It's completely random.
I can't believe you
That's
do that.
powerful. Yeah. It's completely random. It's AI. Like this AI is very dumb, and it'll just basically sort of wing it. Like
When has
it'll go
AI
off,
ever let
it'll
us
go
down?
off what you say
Right.
and just wing it from there. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing that we need to do is I need you both to give me your descriptions of your characters.
You need to write it on.
I'll take notes because I want it to be sort of more like it's got to be more like of a written piece, like more cinematic. So like I have to write
There's
it
no
out.
faith in the words that we're giving you.
No, don't worry, I've only got like 5 words.
They're just words.
You got 5 sentences? I got 5 words.
I got thoughts for my sentence.
I know, shouldn't have had so many sentences.
I know.
Give us your words, Jordan.
My name is Lincoln Miller.
Nice.
How do you spell Link
I don't
the
know.
regular way?
Whoever Abraham Lincoln spelled, do that one.
Yeah, right. I think that's.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh, sorry, Lincoln what?
Miller.
Nice. Point for me.
I'm a dwarf.
Nice.
Yeah,
I already like your character better than mine.
You want to talk here? I'm a crafter. Work in a little shop.
Nice.
My,
Whoa, you're getting dangerously into a third sentence. And you haven't even got to your weapon
I
yet.
even dropped my weapon. My weapon's called the Arc.
Nice.
It makes fire.
What kind of weapon? It's an art. And it's like
Okay. Well, it's big bones.
sword.
It's like a lightsaber.
It's called the art.
Yeah, it's like a lightsaber. You put a chunk of metal in it, in the top of it. Like think of the lightsaber part. Put a chunk of metal in the top. And you click the button, and it turns into a hammer of fire. Then we can use it for crafting or getting stuff.
It's a lightsaber hammer, fire hammer.
Fiery lightsaber. And fiery lightsaber.
There you
That's
go.
going to be in the next season of whatever.
Oh, shit.
It's gonna be in campaign 2 of Tabletop Troops. So
Watch out.
lightning, fire, hammer. It's got everything.
Yeah, that's the Exalto's weapon, actually. No, I think about it.
That's not that.
I just remembered.
I just remember. Copyright.
You just stole him.
All right, perfect. That's a perfect amount of words.
Yeah, I like that. I might have got to 5 sentences.
Kyle.
I gotta roll for my class first.
Oh, right.
So that's 6. Oh no.
I won't be an artificer, even though that's what I should be. Screw the artificer.
Maybe it'll make you nervous.
I knew I'd get mine.
That's the Lord.
So, the name's Jericho. I'm a chaotic neutral half elf. Or
I have no idea how to spell Jericho.
Jericho. I don't know either.
Just one.
You just give him a name.
Yeah, I don't have last.
Yeah, I won't
Chaotic
like that.
neutral half elf. Raised in the Feywild, and I made a deal with a archfey, almost like a cult, where this archfey is convincing people to bust into the material plane and just cause chaos, with the goal of collapsing civilization and letting the chaos from the Feywild
You were playing Ethan character.
overflow into the
How much
material realm.
How much drugs do you need? So,
Enough.
add
He
that.
gave me a weapon, which is the Algoris. And it gives me control over the weapon.
No, are we talking like druid level control?
Still in vague.
I just spell out words.
A-L-G-O-R.
You and what?
It's called the Ruinous Blade.
Probably has to do with man, bear, pig, or climate control. You should have done that. That would have been worth the sentence.
I just put man, bear, pig, baby.
That's
Yes, the villain.
and I also work in the shadows. And I am trying. I know I do a lot of this like eco-terrorism bullshit. I do it at night.
To eco-terrorism. You are eco.
I am the eco-terrorist. That's what some people call me.
Okay, so there's one more thing we need to figure out, and that is why you two are gonna battle to the death.
He's the
Oh, it's
eco-terrorist. I'm
obvious.
the opposite.
He's a law-abiding citizen working a job at some crafting place. I'm going in at night because I'm a shadow monk here, and I'm gonna fuck this place up.
Yeah, he doesn't like that we do work.
I might even control the weather to make it a little bit more cloudy. So at night, there's no moonlight.
I'm just trying to live my life, and he's trying to ruin it.
Perfect.
You gotta put that shadow monk in there, and I rolled for that.
Okay.
You know, I should roll it too.
No, it's not. This is a D12.
Even
12
if
miles.
I don't want to start. I don't need reason.
Alright, so this, once we get going, it's gonna be a little bit, like,
To one.
we'll see how it goes, because I'm not
Oh, you're doing it that way.
I'm not sure if this simulation will take us to our full hour, or if we'll need to run multiple simulations and sort of do like best of 3 or something along those lines, or maybe
You're a good
points,
character.
maybe points
Quite
based
big.
on the victory. But so yeah, I'm gonna work on typing this in. You guys,
Go back to Diablo 4 right now.
Yeah, let's talk about the
It's pretty hot. Pretty hot. Everyone likes Diablo.
all right.
Yeah, it's Diablo 4 right.
I just completely poo-pooed Diablo 4.
Yeah, but that's what a good brand is.
I know, I'm telling you, not everyone loves
No,
it. Mediocrity.
I think it's an above mediocre game.
Above mediocrity. It's a 6.5 out of 10.
You didn't finish the story.
It's true. I
the
shit out
story-
before the game.
Because you got scared by the season pass. Nobody said you had to use your battle pass in season 1. You can save it to season 2.
What?
Yes!
It's even worse.
That was said at day 10.
These guys,
But anyway,
glad Microsoft bought them, okay?
don't say
I
that.
know, it's terrifying. But whatever they were before, it's terrible.
1 to 50, main story, I think the game is actually really good. It's
There
the,
are
once you
solid
unlock the Paragon board, and you're like, 50 is when they want to tease you with the end game, but it's not the end game.
No, it's not.
End game doesn't start real until you're like mid 60s ish, and then at
Like
70, at 70, you have to realize that you have now beat the game and there's nothing else for you to do. From 70 to 100 is you grinding for the rest of your life to make minor improvements on your gear.
That's my favorite part of Diablo 3.
This game has that.
I know, but Diablo 3 was fun from day 13.
The thing that pissed me off is they have 6 uber uniques. If you calculated everybody that is playing Diablo, YouTubers that play it 28 hours a day, count them too. Everybody, the Asians, the Koreans that play it all the time, competitively, all this stuff, counting everything. There was only 3 or 4 total drops in all of Diablo, these 4 items. So they're like, it's like a 5 million hour per item drop that you need. And what happened? They're like, whoa, that's a little crazy. We're going to make it so these have a chance to drop out of these Helltide chests, which everybody at every level, once you unlock Helltide, you play Helltide. So that's good. It's an accessible way. The monsters are usually high, good packs for elite. It's good for farming, good for getting gear. It's a great thing that you want to do, and it pops up throughout the day for about an hour, and it's probably like every 3 or 4 hours. So like if you're going on to play, there is a chance it will never be out for you if you only play for short periods, but if you go on for a few hours, you're probably going to see Helltide. What happens is they made a minor error and they made it drop at a decent amount. 124 players were online and got to take advantage of it and got a whole bunch of these uber uniques because they figured out that barbarians didn't have a unique helmet, and I believe there was one other class that didn't have a unique helmet. So if you rolled on the chest that can give you helmets, if the unique item hit as that percent drop, it would give you the one of the 2 uber unique helmets, the Shaco or Andrel to Dariel's Vision.
I bet you this got reset.
What they did is they immediately jumped in, shut it down, removed all the uniques from all the chests, and they're like, we gotta fix this. Since day 1, people have been preaching we need a gem tab. We can't be filling our stash with this. There's 100
seasons from now.
That's literally what they said.
I know. They're worthless. Come
There's
on.
150 easy quality of life changes that all the players want, and none of them are outrageous. The Codex of Power, for some reason, every other inventory has 3 or 4 slots. Their slot only has 2 for no reason.
Right.
Then, for some
Probably
reason, you have this big library of Codex of Power. Why not just, when you unlock one, put it in your Codex of Power and say it's there. If you find a better one, that'll be your new staple. Like, it's so stupid because you still have the reason to grind the same legendary over and over because you want to get the perfect roll on it.
Yeah.
And then once you get it, you just put it in there. You can always pull it out because they charge you quite a bit of gold to do it. No, can't do that. We got to have your whole inventory. We'll give you 4
I don't like the
boxes to put
gems. The
stuff in.
gems make me the maddest.
Oh, yeah.
Why do they take up half your inventory? There's like 42 unique types of gems. You're going to pick up 1 of each of them.
You have to.
And then you're like, I would like to put them in my stash. And Diablo 3 is far superior game, by the way. You walk to the gem thing, you click, I can't remember what button. One of the buttons, click, deposits all gems. Goodbye, inventory free. I mean, yes, they still take up inventory space, but it doesn't feel the same.
But
This, you're like,
they give you a tab.
individual.
They give you a tab for elixirs. They give you, the weird thing is, for some reason, the Helltide gem things that you need to, or not the Helltide, the Nightmare Dungeon sigils, for some reason share a tab with your elixirs. That's not the end of the world, because you only ever need probably like 3 or 4 elixirs. So that's basically just going to be for your Helltide things. That's okay, that's a minor thing. But have one of those just for your gems, and it could hold all your gems there, and they'd be on you all the time.
One of my biggest problems with the game is almost every chance they've had to be like statistics or any of that type of stuff, they all feel bad.
Yeah.
Almost all their statistics feel bad. Almost all their gear feels bad.
You want to know what's worse? There's only about 4 that matter.
Yeah, I mean that's
Everything, every build needs crit hit, crit damage, runnable damage.
that was kind of the case in Diablo 3. Not quite, but kind of.
Oh, are you ready?
You're set.
I still think it's a good game. It's just it falls off.
I said mediocre. Mediocre's not bad. Mediocre's solid.
It's at least a 7.5. Anyway,
All right. Our battle simulation will be told in the form of a story.
That's a lot of work. Did Kyle give you too many sentences?
I gave him more sentences than that.
I added some fluff to it, you know. So
You added to Kyle's story. You add that much. It's already
I didn't
overwhelming.
your guys' characters, I don't think.
I like main characters.
Anyways, It was a dark and gloomy night in the land of Andro, a medieval city of magic and adventure. I'm trying to set
I
the
would love to play
I'm
it.
trying to set the scene for the AI so it knows sort of what we're going for. Lincoln Miller, a male dwarf shopkeeper, is crafting some wooden and stone trinkets.
So,
He has his trusty weapon at his side, the Arc, a fiery lightsaber hammer. On this night,
That sounds like it's written by AI.
On this night, a shadow monk named Jericho is planning to kill the dwarven shopkeeper
you just coming for me?
as an act,
That's eco-terrorism? Kill a guy?
as an act of
I'm
eco-terrorism.
gonna eliminate carbon.
Jericho has his legendary blade, Algoris, the ruinous blade.
Oh, God.
Lincoln hears Jericho enter his shop. A battle to the death ensues with, and I pressed and we now.
You just trip and die. Or we
Now the AI goes, and we see what happens.
Just
Okay, this is
just fatal error, too much epic sauce.
if it based
Might have been
on
a bit too much shit. So
based on any 5e statistics, I've already lost by saying I'm wrong.
the battle to the death ensues with the two warriors exchanging blows. Lincoln swings the arc with all his might, but Jericho skillfully dodges the attack and lands a blow with Algoris, leaving a deep gash in Lincoln's chest.
What is this Algoris? Is it a sword?
It's a sword.
It's a deep too many.
I guess, did you put that in there?
I had to cut my sentences down.
Lincoln grits his teeth in pain and strikes back, the fiery lightsaber hammer burning through the air.
Sizzle, sizzle,
I don't
sizzle.
know CO2.
Okay, so here's how also it will work. You each can have two actions. Like you can use this action to get me to put something in here. This can't be like I killed this guy or something like that. It has to be some sort of maneuver. Like I shoot my weapon, or none of you have guns, or like I make an attack with this, or like maybe maybe you pull something crazy out of your pocket, like and add something to your already existing character from the attack. As the hammer connects with Jericho's shoulder, he lets out a pained cry and stumbles backwards.
Let's show that fucker.
His shadowy form flickers in the light of the shop. You can see the sweat pouring down Lincoln's face as he prepares for Jericho's counterattack.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot lightning out of my ruinous blade.
You take a turn. Lightning from where? Out of your blade.
Out of my blade. Out of the Algoris.
Better than every grass.
Horses.
I did think about just trying to create eight
Alright.
words that are really difficult for you.
Jericho shoots lightning from Algoris, the ruinous blade. As it crackles with dark energy,
Nice.
and it strikes the ground, creating a small explosion of dust and debris. That was very useful. You did good there. Lincoln takes advantage of the distraction to charge forward, swinging the arc at Jericho's waist. Jericho manages to dodge the attack once more, but the blade grazes his cloak, leaving a small tear.
Cloak.
Not anymore, it's broken.
I'll let you have another action, Kyle, since you're on the down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's gotta be Jordan.
whoa, whoa.
You're gonna go back.
All right, we'll go back. Jordan, what are you gonna do?
I want
You
to.
fuck my cloak.
I want to flash him.
Whoa! Nice shop business.
I want the arc to flash in a blinding light.
Okay.
Specifically, blinding you.
It
Blinding.
might distract you.
Yeah, flash.
I like how I shot something and I'm like, fucking dust everywhere.
Oh, the mark's coming! I think you were like, aim, do.
I'm gonna say flashes a blinding light at Jericho. And simulate those infinite possibilities being calculated. You left a small tear in his cloak. The arc flashes
It was already there.
This is what had happened. The arc flashes with a blinding light at Jericho's eyes,
You're a shadow monster. Take that.
temporarily disorienting him and allowing Lincoln to gain the upper hand once again.
All advantage the upper hand is great.
Lincoln takes advantage of the moment and brings down the arc with force that shatters Algoris, leaving Jericho defenseless. He then swings the fiery lightsaber hammer again, this time striking Jericho in the chest, sending him flying across the room. You're in bad ways, Kyle.
I'm bad.
Jericho's
What are you gonna do?
Wait.
I will look around the shop and grab a hot iron out of the forge
Ernest, could be anything.
as I jump off the counter trying to deliver
Whoa,
a
too many words.
powerful.
All right.
a lot of
What I said was, I forget. Jericho scans his surroundings as he finds a hot iron. He leaps off the table and attacks Lincoln with the hot iron in his hand. Lincoln quickly raises the arc to block the incoming strike, but the iron rod smashes into the arc, shattering it into pieces.
Whose weapon sucks?
Lincoln is now
Lightsaber.
Lincoln is now weaponless, and Jericho takes advantage of this situation by striking him in the face with the hot iron. Pretty good turnaround.
Pretty good.
Now you're weaponless. What are you gonna
This is the
pull up?
perfect opportunity to beg for mercy.
I'm gonna say,
I like how an untrained shopkeep is going back and forth with a monk. This is realistic on second thought.
I'm gonna put my helmet protects me from the strike,
Nice.
and something else maybe. Jericho's cloak gets snagged on the counter.
No.
Lincoln puts on a helmet
I already had a helmet on to block the strike.
to protect from further attacks.
Further attacks.
Yeah, because this has already
That's
happened.
already happened.
I didn't know Lincoln already had a
As
helmet on.
Jericho's cloak burns.
I like the second part.
Cloak is on fire now for some unexplicable reason.
The helmet shatters.
As Jericho's cloak burns and he retreats.
What?
You can see Lincoln now with a bloody nose and burnt face, breathing heavily as he watches Jericho disappear into the night. No, that's not okay. Erase.
No, you can't erase it. That's a win.
Yeah, no, it's to the dead. To the dead. Yes.
Let's
No retreat.
Let's leave.
Jericho, you freaking
And then we'll have the cloak of Jericho.
Jericho's cloak burns away in the heat of the iron. Jericho swings again, but this time Lincoln is ready, using his fist to block the attack. No, don't worry about it. The two engage in a brutal fist fight,
This way, drop the
their
poker.
bodies slamming into each other as they exchange blows. Lincoln lands a solid punch at Jericho's jaw, sending him reeling backwards. Jericho stumbles and then falls to the ground defeated.
Putting a helmet on? What?
We're putting an helmet on, then blocking with the hands.
Are we gonna call it here?
I think so. I think the monk got beat in a fist fight.
To a shopkeep.
You just got to stop all this. Excellent.
So Jordan takes round one. All right. Little post game breakdown of it, maybe. Went pretty well.
I like how both weapons were destroyed.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Activating my weapon. Bang!
It
Smash!
wasn't what I expected at all. I expected it to take those words as being like, this is their weapon, right? Being like, oh, this is like good weapon. But like, I guess they did. They're like, yeah, that's a good weapon to destroy.
Yeah, they just took.
I like how I shot lightning to distract myself.
That was really good.
So with the lightning,
Oh, so
You
you
know this.
Lincoln took advantage. He's like, yes, he's shooting lightning. Perfect. It's a perfect distraction.
smoking in the gut. You came back.
It was tough. It was tough for Jericho.
It was pretty-
He was on the back end for the most part.
Yes. Yeah, I was on the right side.
I don't really know. Should we restart from there, or do we go back to the beginning?
I
Or
think we can restart and maybe even piss up some new characters. Because I can piss real quick, and you know it.
All right. Let's piss some new characters, I guess.
And we'll put the buttons.
Characters. Kyle, no Kyle first. Yes,
Yeah, put it on the spot.
Since I rolled wizard, I'm going Delroy the Magnificent.
Nice.
Bring me back.
Call back.
Yeah, it was a split personality or a fake persona. A master of illusion. He can make copies and sounds and different things like that. And his magical item that enhances it is this orb of pure darkness. And this orb of darkness will be called the Eye. The Eye of Nukes.
No, let's see. Except I don't know how to spell Anubis.
Oh my goodness.
Middle figure.
Middle finger. Yeah.
Names and stuff. Sorry. So Jordan?
His name's Quicker Pisser.
Quicker piss.
It'd be like
Ain't his name?
it's more like a nickname. A nickname and a title as a name. He's the Quicker Pisser. That's what they call him on the streets.
What is he?
His last name could be Pisser.
No, he's
And
Quicker
his
Pisser.
nickname's the Quicker.
What does he do?
Homeless man on the street.
This seems to be an too powerful to kill.
Homeless man on the street. He when the popo's coming, he knows how to piss real quick and get out of town.
So when he's about to get caught, it's
Well, no. You gotta piss. Like normally, that's all bugs do. They wander around pissing on the street corners. Everyone else, like the cops coming, and they're like, "Caught you, ha ha." He's like, and then takes off. He always gets away because he pisses quicker.
pissing wrong.
He's playing the cards up front.
That's his crime of choice. Pissing.
His weapon can be a slalom dog.
Yeah, this episode definitely getting age restricted.
I tried.
It's
Alright,
a
so
long shot.
finally, why are you two battling to the death?
He tried
It's
to.
obvious. I was having a show, and he showed up and started pissing everywhere.
It's all-
Ruining the show. It's 100% obvious. It ruined itself.
He broke himself.
So I guess you guys are back to Diablo.
No, we can talk about something else. Okay. We need.
We can talk about what Pathfinder's great.
Yeah.
Actually, a serious question. Do you think you could port over the 3-action system to 5e?
I don't see why not. I mean,
The
it's
first thing that popped in my mind was multi-attack, right? In 5e,
yeah, that's
you
a
could
pretty balancing freak show there.
could any class that gets multi-attack. You give that class a 2-action thing that is multi-attack, where they make 2 attacks with no map, but then if they would make a 3rd attack, it would be the -10. There's an ability in the game that's something like that.
Could do that. That would almost work. Because I mean, then they would get their 2 attacks. It's almost like balancing the 2. It's not
I mean,
quite.
and then fighters, when they get 3, then they do 2 actions for 3, and then
Yeah.
if they're 20, they get 4 actions for.
Yeah, it's all about reducing the discount or reducing the penalty. Kind of work. Yeah, like, not a bad idea.
There is an ability already in the game that kind of does that. Where they,
I mean, I like the idea of 3-action system anyway. Even though once in a while you get frigged on your 3-action.
so spells, like pretty well across the board, all the spells in Pathfinder are 2 actions. I would still
There's
carry
some
that over.
special spells, like you could up the wizard, the sorcerer, quicken a spell for 1 action.
Exactly.
Right.
Bonus action spells would still be 1 action.
1 action, yeah. That'd be the weaker one.
Yeah.
That'd be, yeah, I like that. I wouldn't see a problem with it. I don't think it would be that hard. I think porting the system over is not that difficult of a thing to do. I don't know if the 3-action system is what makes it better.
Instead, so if you want to, like, level 1, you want to take the 3 actions to attack, do you think that, I think the -5, -10 is too hard in 5e. I was thinking your second attack, you lose your proficiency. So whatever your proficiency is, it's like minus proficiency.
That's fair too, but I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting mess that
And then
I
your
almost
third
don't
attack
know
will
that
be
you should
double
have 3
minus
attacks.
proficiency. I don't think Pathfinder wants you to have 3 attacks.
I know that,
But it's there for those epic moments. You do get that 20 for your
I
header.
mean, I've seen in the slight time you play that you roll the crit and like miss or almost miss.
Almost missed.
And it turns into a hit instead of a crit, and everyone's like kind of confused but kind of happy.
It's there to at least have that window of it's low. Like your 5% chance that the
I'm
thing's
waiting.
there.
I'm waiting for your monster to roll a crit, and then not crit my god.
Yeah,
I think it's super possible.
I think
Yeah,
the champion is probably one of the few classes that can happen.
that's
You
tough.
think you're expert in armor pretty high.
I think the internet has certain trends about themselves. They get lost in things the same way they do in sports. The only thing that they care about is damage and flashiness. I don't think that's what the whole of the ninja game is. I think the champion's a strong class, or at least mediocre strong. Defensively, is it flashy? Does it do offensive stuff?
That's tier 10.
And yet, the internet, I saw lots of, like, whatever you call them, like, tier lists or just placing them, like, right at the bottom. I don't think that's fair. Yeah, fair. I mean, to be fair about Bard, their argument is that Bard at later level circumstance bonuses become more frequent, I guess.
Status bonuses.
The status bonus become more frequent, but I'm just an art party that we're running right now.
Amazing.
No, it's not just that it's amazing. I'm never going to give anyone a status bonus. The Ranger's never going to give anyone a status bonus. The only one, never. So I mean, maybe occasionally I can give a guy bonus AC once in a while, but by the way, that doesn't stack up. So it's fine. But my point is that this Bard's ability only gets outclassed and it only gets outclassed in segment. So he gives 5 plus 1s at once. So if you're
It's not like you're
if you're another class that gives a +2 to hit, well, he still gives +1 to damage, right? And that
because it covers such a wide thing.
so it still does a lot of things. So I mean, you could say it's devalued, but it could have cost a spell. But my big argument is in a party of 4, which I think is probably the ideal number.
That's
You're
what
probably not. You're not going to have 2 support classes anyway. So
That's
he's
another thing.
invaluable.
You can say tank is shitty at being a solo class,
Yeah,
but like you can't think like that. Like you build a party and hopefully everybody has something they do in the party.
well, I'm already afraid of death. Because what the problem is in Pathfinder, I think the game's more balanced, in that you kind of want to have a person fulfill those rules. But if a character dies, that player may be forced into create a character that's the same. And if I was, say my tank died, I'd want to play something different. Just to change.
So, we got the Quicker Pisser and we got Delroy the Magnificent. This may be our last one, so if it is, this is worth double the points.
I'm just gonna cast Wish.
Don't do it! Don't do it! You will not allow us to use that spell. It's hurting so bad. If I'm an event, I use Wish to do
It's
anything.
taking place in the city of Andro, a medieval city. Delroy the Magnificent is putting on a show for the people of Andro. As he is a master of illusion, he can easily trick the small-minded city folk with his orb of pure darkness, the Eye of Anubis. But on this night, during Delroy's show, a homeless man called the Quicker Pisser, known for the piss and run,
Piss and run.
is using his schlong dong to spray piss all over the audience. A battle to the death ensues between Delroy and the Quicker Pisser, with a flash of sparks and a crackle of magic as they exchange blows. The crowd around you is screaming and shouting. The smell of burnt hair and urine wafts through the air as the two combatants circle each other. Suddenly, Delroy unleashes a blast of energy that sends the homeless man flying across the square,
probably how it goes.
slamming into the cobblestone with a sickening thud. We'll start with Jordan Stone.
Okay. Okay. He's going to lift himself to his feet with the schlong dong, and then launch. Yeah. Launch a penetrating attack.
With these points.
With whichever, his dong or his spits.
Penetrating lead? I assume that's penetrating with the L, with an L line. So there.
Penetrating leads from there too.
We'll see that. Yeah, a penetrating lead there. Okay, so the old man is sent flying across the square, slamming into the cobblestone with a sickening thud.
Like they
The
made
Quicker Pisser lifts himself to his feet with the schlong dong and launches a penetrating attack with it towards Delroy's jaw.
No!
A quick snap of the wrist, and Delroy sends the schlongdong hurling it in the direction of the homeless man. So you redirected the schlongdong back at him, and it's your turn to.
Okay. Using my mastery over illusion, I want to build a force cage around the homeless man. What? Around the quicker pisser. Putting an illusion of policemen beating him.
He's gone. The policeman can't keep up with him.
See what it does.
Master this
Tormenting us.
Using his mastery of illusion, Delroy summons an illusion of the cops surrounding the quicker pisser,
So let me have my force cage.
force cage. I mean, yeah, there's an illusory cage. An illusion of the cops surrounding the quicker pisser and firing laser taser darts at him.
What?
Electroing him and sending him crashing to the ground.
He was all...
Delroy lets out a triumphant cry, and the crowd cheers.
Are you not entertained?
He hasn't been defeated, and it's not. You are on the ground being tased right now.
This faster of illusion.
They're not real, right? It's not really being tased.
He doesn't know that. Right?
Maybe he is.
Do what his name says.
Quick piss.
A quick piss. All over Delroy's. Everything. Everything. Yeah.
What's pissy that in there?
It's a lot of quick piss. It's, he's only quick because the pressure build up. So he's got so much. Could be one of those Spider-Man moments where you run out of whips. And if you run out of piss, the battle's over.
You don't really have a secondary thing.
The quicker pisser attempts his patented piss and run.
Piss and run? You made him flee?
I mean, I don't know what he'll do. He flees. He tries to flee. He attempts his patented piss and run. But as he tries to flee, Delroy uses his Eye of Anubis to create an impenetrable barrier that prevents the quicker pisser from escaping.
It's almost what you wanted.
The homeless man falls back, stunned by the power of Delroy's orb. Suddenly, a group of guards arrive and apprehends the quicker pisser, dragging him away in chains. Do we go back because it's not to the death?
What do you call it? Similar to retreat.
Well, let's.
I don't know what your time is.
We can do some more characters.
Some more pissing?
We'll present a couple more characters.
That's almost a draw then.
So, no.
Yeah, but you didn't kill anyone. And
He trapped you in the orb, so I feel like that's a win.
in the orb, it was just an illusion.
As far as the last one goes too, like, it didn't say like
It was just
that Jericho was
implied.
murdered and like he was hit and
Was the
come
word
back.
foreshadowing? We read it and knew what was going to happen. We didn't need to read the rest.
Defeated.
I've seen enough new television. I've seen enough end of season setups to know that it's always they're not dead. It's
No
just
one's ever dead.
no one's ever dead. They just come back. They're defeated, and then they come back in the next
He's
season.
got one thing. He's got these two fingers. His one's going like this. And the other one's just dead solid.
Waiting to end the fun.
All right, so we need some.
Because he was like 4 strokes in.
We need you guys to make some more characters for us.
I can't believe they pulled an electro taser.
All right. Yeah, right.
Like,
Fantasy world setting. I was trying to like decipher.
illusions. So it's not real laser taser.
Did you go first last time?
you went first. I need to do the sound video.
I can go first. I can go first. So you give me a chance to think of something.
Whichever.
Good. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go to. The name is Rax. Rhaxx.
I would have went with W.
I'm a dragonborn barbarian who made. My family was murdered by cultists. I made a pact, powerful fiend, for the axe of Asmodeus.
Hacks of those movies.
Yes, movie sir? Oh, no. Scratch that. Soul Plater.
Hey, good.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe some sort of cultist.
It's just a traveling priest.
I was gonna go with Trador. Tiberius. Tiberius Tragor, even. 2 T's.
Titties.
Yeah, you can call them T's.
Titties. Racks and titties.
That's just with the worst name possible.
No, these are brilliant names, first of all. And now I feel like we can't fight to the death.
Tragor. How do you spell either of those words?
Tiberius is from Critical Role.
So, what are you using?
He's giant. What's over
Okay, let's go with some.
Roll for your class. Be a man. Be a man. That's a perfect. Two bird.
It's pretty
Hate
good.
bird. It's so good.
Pretty good bird.
I rolled monk first, and I hate monk.
Okay, he's a good bird. He plays.
Perfect bird name.
Yeah. He plays music at bars regularly, hoping to get them to tease. And he does, because he's successful. And,
You get what?
to tease.
Teams.
That's how he pronounces it. That's what everybody hates him.
I can do that.
Even though you gotta be a
I just straight up wrote down titties on the paper. I was like, musician.
titty.
Yeah, he could be a gnome. He could be a gnome too. Let's see, something.
And weapon.
Let's go with the. It's probably an instrument. It's like. I want to be.
Instrument.
I want to go with lute of long-lasting lust.
It's a lot of L's.
Yeah. I got the T's, got the L's.
That's total loss.
That's too many L's. Why are you guys battling to the death?
He's a gnome. That's good enough reason for me.
Guy named Rat showed up. I thought he was T's.
And like, what are setting? What's going on?
I go into the bar and kill a cultist in cold blood. His audience flees. He doesn't know what's going on, and he tries to stop.
Was a hero? I don't know. I guess so.
What's the chicks dig here?
Alright, secondary topic time. As I type.
New Pathfinder. We did Diablo 4. So what do you?
Okay, here we go. Okay.
No,
Why
no,
don't people put more
no,
love
I'm
into
not
this
getting
game?
those.
Literally everything people should
Hey,
do.
Baldur's Gate 3.
There you go.
Are you getting Baldur's Gate 3?
I'm gonna get Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Did you know?
We're gonna do something on this channel.
Do you know you can have sex with a bear in Baldur's Gate 3?
I mean,
And do you know when they released that information, they went up 70 points on Steam?
are you kidding me? No. They call that bareback.
Oh,
Nice. Yes, sir. Yeah, I plan on getting it on Steam. It releases on 3rd.
first, yeah, early August. I've already got it on Steam, but I will be getting it PS5.
I would say, since you've got Kenny's computer stolen, it's officially yours.
I tried to get back to him twice.
Don't try again. Just play it on the computer.
But I love console.
I know, but it's gonna work better on the
I can
computer.
play it a month before. If I might play it on, I'll play it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably play it on the computer as long as I can get it to work. But I am buying it for sure on PS5.
I'm pretty
I'm playing
committed.
Touch Call.
I'm pretty committed to buying this game. I need to just buy it now.
It's expensive. It's like $106 or something.
What?
Yeah. It's like another $10 than it should be for no reason.
Yeah, it's like
But
Diablo.
178 hours cinematics.
But cinematic,
178 hours.
you probably won't see all of
You
it
won't see all of
because
them.
it's gonna be like. But I mean, that's still pretty impressive.
That's pretty
Because it's gonna be like different versions of situations. Like this character, this type of character has this, that.
They
That
did
also makes it
more-
kind of big.
More hours than watching Game of Thrones twice.
Yeah, I mean, 178 hours is still
Long
insane.
time.
I'm pretty into it. I hope it's as good as the Pathfinder games are.
You never played the beta? But
No, I stay away from beta. Betas are sinful. I mean, actually, this beta, I kind of like seeing the classes,
yeah.
but
They never play tested Monk. But Monk's gotta be in the game.
But no one wants to play test.
46 subclasses.
Yeah,
I think every class got at least 3. I think they got all the PHP classes, and they added a few Xanathar ones. Which
Like
was strange.
subclasses?
Subclasses.
So what are the classes? Are they all
The new-
classes? Like the actual classes?
Yeah. There's a few minor tweaks to some of the mechanics they've tweaked.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of like fixes, like
So
the Berserker Barbarian they fixed.
They made 5e better. When 5e or
Yes, they
5.5 tried to be better, and all they did was probably ruin it. So why don't they just talk to this video game company about how to fix this game? And
What Larian Studios does is they're like, we are thinking about our player base and we want to make the game they want. And they do stuff, and when players give them feedback, they're like, this would be better. They're like, good point.
That's the reason they did the massive beta,
Yeah.
obviously. And then they took the ideas and presumably ran with it. See, I think they gave a massive chunk. You said Act 1 or something like that.
I thought it was all Act 1, but it's not all of Act
But
1.
either way, they
But it
wanted
was
to
a
give
lot.
quite a bit of chunk so that people could play the
Yeah.
mechanics. They catered more about the mechanics than the
Yeah.
story.
And they even said they wanted you to try stuff you wouldn't normally try.
Right.
So like spinning evil and stuff.
Exactly.
Most people-
So when they do that, then people give feedback for that, right?
Yeah.
Then they can take that information because these are mostly mechanical things.
Well, they made some
and that
big
works for the
changes.
rest of it.
When it very first come out, Initiative was all the bad guys, all the good guys, or reverse, or one. And they realized it makes combat too swingy, and they changed that right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's like, but like they're okay with changing stuff that people don't like.
All I know is that Divinity was brilliant,
Yeah.
and I think that this is a great chance of
I never actually beat Divinity, but they said all of Divinity would fit into Act 1.
That seems hard to believe. It's great.
PG3 is going to be a great game. Hopefully, we'll play some. We'll play some, and hopefully, I'll post it on this channel on YouTube. So check out our YouTube channel. This episode will be there. So hopefully, if you're watching this here, then subscribe.
Hopefully, by that time,
Hopefully,
it could be deleted. This is a great episode. Why? How do you delete this shit?
How great our episode has no impact on whether Ethan. If Ethan doesn't win this episode, it's probably deleted.
He can't win.
All right. The simulation begins. One night in a tavern in the city of Andro. I keep it Andro because
Hands are solid.
It's on camera.
a bard is playing his flute in hopes of titties. This bard is a gnome named Tiberius Tregor. He uses his lute of long-lasting. Oh, I put luck.
Luck. What a boring
This is
word.
why he proofreads.
Lute of long-lasting lust
There you
to
go.
charm his victims.
I'm a hero. I thought.
Titty victims.
Oh, okay.
When all of a sudden a dragonborn named Rax, a Barbarian,
The Parforian. That's why I'm here.
No, I didn't live.
Oh my goodness, what did you do?
I have no idea what I did. Back?
That'll never come through.
Awesome.
We're back to the far superior novel AI.
Didn't it not work last time?
Yeah, it did, but it's working now. So, and I shortened up the prompt a bit for sake of brevity and getting to our campaign.
Guarantee I got you.
A battle to the death ensues between a gnome bard who loves boobs and is armed with his lute of long-lasting luck, and a dragonborn
Is it
barbarian.
luck? Is it luck again?
Lust, it's lust, it's lust.
Better be luck. It's the only
The
thing that.
dragonborn barbarian named Rax, whose family was killed by a cult. He is armed with his soul cleaver axe. The battle begins with a back and forth of hits. The gnome uses his boobies to absorb the damage
No!
and heal himself.
What?
The dragonborn uses his anger to supercharge his axe to deliver blows that are near impossible to block.
Is this already AI? Or did you write this?
That's AI.
I was like, okay.
If the battle begins, from there, AI. Let's roll for who goes first. A D12.
Kyle's good.
What's the matter?
Results way better on the phone.
Oh, so Jordan.
Okay, what was the last part of this game?
Kyle's Dragonborn just supercharged, raged.
We'll use my powers of lust.
Whoa! No consent. No consent.
Oh, I never put your name in there.
This is a sport card.
Oops.
Oops is his name. Yeah, I didn't put his name. It was too long. I had to skip it. I'm just
No,
gonna
no,
call
it was
you.
part
I'm
of
just
the
gonna
fun.
call you the No.
That's what the game knows you have.
It's true. So what do you do?
Uses lust powers to subdue with rats to subdue rats. Yeah.
to subdue Rax by turning him into a succubus and
What?
offering him to pleasure Rax, and offering him pleasure. You turn him into
Turns me into a succubus.
turns
Then,
you into a succubus and offers you pleasure. You ignore this offer, but still cannot break the supersonic rhythm of his mighty blows. In the end,
What?
Rax defeats the gnome. He pulls out the boobs of the gnome. I'm sending it because it's over. He killed him. Pulls out the boobs of the gnome's female disguise and slices the gnome's boobies off.
What is
The gnome screams in pain, and the Dragonborn decapitates him with a final blow. At the end of the episode, the narrator says that the Dragonborn is a true warrior, and he shall never rest. That was pretty short and cinematic.
I like
and
how he
love
comes.
it.
Hey, it's like, I see through your booby disguise, Mr. Titties. Like,
I rip off your
You're
boobs.
like, no! And then the head comes on.
Then the narrator, Dragonborn is a true warrior. He shall never rest.
The setup was what made it. In losing the first one was a.
It was the first setup. The setup for the first one was mint, but a gnome bard who loves boobies. I mean, how much more did you want me to add?
I mean,
feel like
he's a
anything
death
else-
fight. He's like, gotta loot. There's no advantage here.
Still Luda lost?
Unless he tried, he turned you.
I know.
Turned you
It was a very strange wording that he turned me into a succubus. Like, hey, now that you're a succubus, do you want to fuck?
So I think I got confused. It says.
Definitely.
So the
then,
gnome
like,
uses
no,
his
no.
powers of lust to attempt to subdue Rax by turning in. No.
you turned into a
into a
succubus.
succubus. So the
Sorry,
gnome
the
uses his
succubus
powers of
moves up.
lust to attempt to subdue Rax by turning into a succubus and offering him pleasure. Rax ignores this offer, but still cannot break the supersonic rhythm of his mighty blows. In the end, Rax defeats the gnome.
Well, that was a
I feel like I
Slices off his boobies.
see. I'm not interested into love anymore because my wife and kids, my whole family were killed.
It
Well, it was weird because
it just says whose family was killed by a cult.
Yeah, they know that. They're thinking.
they
They
said
knew my back.
they
They gotta
said
think he's there.
Rax could not resist the supersonic blows, and then directly goes to decapitation and boom boom.
It was his supersonic rhythm of mighty blows that was happening in the first place, though.
Oh, supersonic.
Maybe it's that he couldn't you couldn't break the rhythm of his supersonic
You know,
blows.
like, shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
AI is hilarious.
Yeah, just random spray.
So I actually have lots of ideas for more stuff using these types of things, although they only work half the time, but there are two of them, so only one of them has to work.
The odds is that one will always work.
Find the other one afterwards.
But it's true, that disappeared from the internet for some reason.
It's too powerful.
But, like, for you guys, maybe to put a little more thought into
No.
your pictures, or maybe,
I feel like that hurts.
maybe a little bit less.
I didn't have
But
a
like
lot of
for more of a I'm thinking like you guys are each like kings in a war that's happening, and like basically your turns will be trying to like build up your army or maybe your knowledge or something along those
you can
lines.
do two
Where, like,
stories.
You guys are both trying to conquer an entire country type thing where like
So what if you do one story with Kyle's character, then one story with my character, then you copy paste both of them together, and then mention that they're gonna fight.
Then see what AI
that
does.
could be crazy.
It could be completely ludicrous.
But yeah, anyways, that's been this episode of Critical Failures. We'll see you on all of our podcasting platforms. Hopefully, as long as I do the right thing.
That's right. Not the wrong thing.
And we'll see you next time.